Hi travelers, this is going to be your Scorpio Sun, Moon, and Rising video for May 2024. This is a general reading and the messages may not resonate with you, in which case I would suggest you check back to your Moon and Rising sign videos. If you are so inclined, you may book a private tarot reading with me. All you have to do is email me at the address there on the screen, or you can go to the About box section of my channel, and there I have listed the reading packages, which include the number of minutes, the number of questions, the price, and the delivery method. Simply email me at HiddenLotusTarot.com, gmail.com, and say to me, for instance, Tara, I would like a 30-minute reading, and I will respond back to you with instructions and a payment link. Excuse me. I got a dry throat. To make it easier on yourself, if you want to book, I would suggest you enter my email address, enter your contacts before you email me, and I will, once you do that, the email will go to your inbox. For some reason my emails always end up in spam. So if you do email me and you haven't heard back from me within 24 hours, I would suggest you check your spam folder. My turnaround time is 24 to 72 hours after contact. And when you email me, I will email you back with booking instructions and a payment link. My turnaround time is 24 to 72 hours. I don't like to make people wait. So I have with me today the Radiant White deck, La Vera Sibila, in case we need it for clarification, and we will wrap the reading up with an angel answer card. I have already done some meditation and shuffling on your sign and glyph, but I'm going to shuffle a little more because I always like for you guys to see me shuffle the cards in front of you. And give it one more rifle. My arm is coming back to normal. It's still rather weak, but I can move it pretty much like before. Next, I have to work on my leg. So this is going to be 9 cards down. Let's get started with the reading. 5 of Swords. The Queen of Coins. The Devil. That's interesting. I haven't seen the Devil show up in a long time. Next row, hopefully the camera will go back straight. The Knight of Pentacles. Let's see if the camera will focus. Just bear with me for a second. I'm going to go ahead and place the cards down and turn the camera off, and I'll turn it back on. Next card, the 9 of Cups. There we go. Sometimes when I move too fast, it makes the camera out of focus. The 2 of Swords. The Temperance card. The 2 of Wands. And finally, the Queen of Wands. Now, I know I said this was a Scorpio reading, and Scorpio is a water sign. But I have these two queens here. And in this situation, as a Scorpio, they could be representative of your moon or rising sign, or it could be simply what you do for a living. Like maybe you are a bank teller, or because Scorpios are pretty much good with money. A bank teller or a financial advisor or something like that. But it could also be two women, different women. One is, again, with their what they do. The Queen of Wands is an entrepreneurial queen. She typically runs her own business, handles her own business and runs it. She delegates more than she actually does work. But now, what is over the whole reading? The King of Pentacles. Now, this is, I think, some kind of transition. Right in the center, I have the Nine of Cups. And the Nine of Cups is simply the wish card. That's all it ever tells me. It doesn't tell me what you're wishing for or what you wish would happen. It usually says the Nine of Cups, whatever you wish for will come true. But I always issue a caution, be careful what you wish for. What do I have? I have 2 swords, 2 wands, 2 pentacles, and 2 major arcana. So there is a theme of 2 in this reading. Usually 2s represent a choice, an option, a duality, being opposed within yourself about something, or someone actually opposing you. An opposition and a crossroads. The cards are read past, present, future, past, present, future, and the interplay of the cards. I'm going to come to this King of Pentacles in a second. We start out with the Five of Swords. And what the Five of Swords is about, you see how the clouds are kind of diagonal across the card? And in the card, usually the person in the foreground represents the person I'm reading for, so you. And you have won a fight. See the 2 people there walking away? One with his hands and his face in his hands. But I always look at this card like a separate 2 of Swords. And the reason why is, this card says if you have a dispute or someone's gossiping about you or talking bad about you, stand up for yourself. If someone is trying to take control, or you think they are, stand up for yourself. But the caution of the card says, be careful of getting in a fight with someone, because usually the 2 people will stop at nothing to win. They'll sink to any levels to win. It's an extra 2 of Swords because he has 2 swords over his shoulder. Swords represent thoughts, beliefs, perceptions, ideas, and communication. And in this case, the person looks like he's won, but he's saying, should I have said that? I shouldn't have said that, or maybe I should have said this. That's why the 2 of Swords is over his shoulder. Because it's a moment of up and down, back and forth, and tense energies. So sometimes this card will represent a fight or an argument or a dispute with another person. Usually, typically, there are 3 people in the situation. It says so in the card. And I have 3 people here. I gave you the Queen of Pentacles. If she's not an earth sign female, then it represents your work situation or what you do having to do with finances. You could be a store teller, a bank teller, a banker, a financial advisor, somebody who works in an NGO. And backed up by this Devil card. Well, the Devil is quite an interesting card because it can represent, on one hand, obsession, power and control issues, someone trying to control you, someone being manipulative and cunning. Again, there's this image of 3 people, 3 figures, the Devil and the 2 people. But really the card represents the house of Capricorn, and that is a house of work. And so the Devil is asking you, what do you commit yourself to? It could be a marriage, but it could also be you striving for material things. And maybe this is not bringing you happiness. If you notice, the 2 people have chains around their neck. And they're chained at the base of the Devil. But the chains are on loosely. And therefore, you have the choice or option to remove the chains and go somewhere else. Do something different. So the Devil represents, on the other hand, hard work. You know, you have to work to enjoy the material things. Usually this means good food, sex, clothes, wine, the material aspects of life. What do you chain yourself to? How committed are you to it? Are you going to roll up your sleeves and do the hard work? Or are you going to let somebody or something overtake your life? On the next row, we have the Knight of Coins. Now, this Knight comes in to move a situation along. Sometimes the Devil means being stuck. And here, the Knight of Coins come to move a situation along. The legend is, when the Knight of Coins shows up, it behooves great news or good news, positive news, that you have been waiting on for a long time. If you notice, the horse is very large and lumbering and stock still. He's not moving. So it takes a while perhaps for the message to get to you, or it takes a little bit for movement to start to show, but it's either about finances or it's about doing something because it's a coin. The Two of Swords. Maybe you received some kind of unsettling communication. Maybe someone it's dark thoughts that you have and you're not sure what to make of it. This is being of 2 minds. Let's try it like that. The card speaks about being of 2 minds, not knowing exactly what to think or what to do. Come on. Come on. Oh, man. There we go. Not knowing what to do or what to think, and not making a decision because it's a 2. So Even not making a decision is a decision. It's about sitting still and trusting what your intuition is telling you. You don't have to necessarily act right away. Sometimes, to me, this card implies you don't have enough information to make a decision or know what's going on. But I beg to differ. Up close, you can see that her left eye is barely covered by the blindfold. So you have an inkling of what's happening. That's your intuition talking. Next, we come to the Temperance. This card is ruled by Jupiter. It's ruled by Sagittarius. And it's about balance and moderation. If you notice here, it's a fire card and there's lots of water depicted in picture. Imagine if you have a pot of water on a stove. If you crank the fire up too much, it will boil over and put the fire out. But if you set the temperature just right, it will release steam. So this is about controlling your emotions and controlling an economy in whatever you do. Whatever you do. And compromise. Sometimes when this card appears, I hear the phrase, you are on the right path. So you have to trust what your heart is telling you and control your emotions and be considerate, try to compromise, and economy and moderation in all things. The Two of Wands, again, it's a 2. And in this card, you have made a decision, but it's a choice to look backward. Directionality is very important in the tarot. You have the whole world in your hand, but you know there is much more to do. Sometimes this card can imply that another message has come in, and it stokes what I consider to be your fire and passion, yet you are not sure about what you are supposed to do. Finally, we have the Queen of Wands, and as I said, she represents a fire sign female, someone who will use her sexuality if she needs to get what she wants. And she typically is a business owner or entrepreneurial kind of spirit. Now, 2 queens usually mean gossip is mean. So here I have 2 cards about somebody saying something about you, maybe. It could be jealousy. It could be just a mess with you. But 2 queens, gossip is mean. It's usually the traditional meaning of two queens. And I don't always buy that they're always gossiping about each other. They may say some... I get the feeling that this is... It's sort of like a jealousy, a rival thing. Is what I'm picking up on the energy. Over here is a King of Pentacles. And normally, if I have one queen or king come out of a suit, the matching suit means that they're partnered up or they're married. And here you have the committed couple. The King of Pentacles might be an earth sign, but if he is, maybe he's very wealthy, he has his own business, owns a lot of property, himself is in finances, a financial realm, so that can show up that way. I think there is some kind of fight, argument, and nasty things being said. And that's why compromise. You're being asked to compromise. But is this because sometimes the Five of Swords can indicate somebody talk communication online. Did that person really say that? Did I really read it? Am I really hearing it? Did they really say it? What do I do about it? So is this about control and jealousy and possessiveness? And this indicates that this queen doesn't know what she's going to do about it. So I have 3 people, at least in the spread. I don't ever consider knights to be people. That is a message. And I will look at these cards as they relate to the Temperance and the Devil. And I can't look at the Nine of Cups because it only tells me it's a wish card. It has no other meaning than that. That's why I say be careful what you wish for. So I will look at the Five of Swords, the Two of Swords, and the Two of Wands as they relate to the Temperance and the Devil. Maybe it won't tell me anything. I don't know. I'm looking at the swords, not the wands. The Five of Swords, listen, with the Devil, is indicative of careless spending, unwise investments, and financial hardships and distress. Be warned. Let me read it again. Look, you have the money in between the two. So either she is spinning or he is spinning. And the question is, what is he spending on? Or is it going to clear up? Is he gambling? I don't know. It's indicative when it's the Five of Swords next to the Devil of careless spending, unwise investments, financial hardships, and distress. Be warned. The Two of Swords. Usually it involves a dispute with a friend or acquaintance, but an amicable solution can be found. There is some sort of power struggle going on in your life. It can be indicating the breakdown of a once close relationship, and there is an urgent need to balance and rational approach to the situation. The time must come when important decisions must be made. Consider all options very carefully before making any firm commitments. Tough choices and weighing up the pros and cons. It also indicates a stalemate in your affairs and a feeling of not knowing which way to turn. Where emotions are involved, the Two of Swords tells of mixed feelings and a feeling of confusion. Do not allow prior grievances and bitterness to influence the communication, because once compromise is reached, you should have a sense of achievement at having been open-minded and considerate of others. But it also warns not to make rash decisions that you may later regret. Be prepared to stay open to all options, otherwise you may lose out. The Two of Wands. But I think the reason is two twos can warn of an extramarital affair. So when I was talking to you about the good things, sex is a good thing. Yes? And maybe this situation is strictly sexual. But I also think there's a bit of control and jealousy. Let me read. And when the devil appears, something bad usually looms large, but you'll find out in the end that it's okay. Let's read on the devil. That's why Temperance has asked you our dream. That's devil. That's death. The devil is 15. It can indicate that you are involved or only concerned with material aspects of your life. It is saying that you are off course in your journey. Take stock of your life. And if you are not satisfied, make the appropriate changes. Recognize what is happening around you and make amends. Implies that a negative situation was brought about by clouded judgment on your behalf. You must now endure the consequences. It can tell of a feeling of stagnation and hopelessness. It tells of self-indulgence which lead to obsession and allows oneself to be tied into a situation. The devil sometimes suggests is someone who uses power for selfish and negative gain. It warns you that temptations are all around you. Be aware so that the chains do not bind you. It tells of indulgences of all kinds and warns of misuse and abuse. It signifies that you should reflect on the situation, ask others for advice, and work towards solving difficulties. With Temperance, usually there has been a karmic situation, and both of these cards are karmic. But somebody will be forced to learn independence, unity, and justice. You are asked to maintain a balance in your life. Do not be hasty or rush things at this time. Show inner strength and patience, and you will find success. Temperance usually indicates a focus on reassessing situations that had seemed to be in the past but have re-emerged to be dealt with again. It recommends moderation, management, and economy, and tells that it may be necessary to live frugally and manage your affairs at this particular time. Indicates that things should not be rushed at this time, as there is a need to take one step at a time and or within due course. It tells of strength gained from challenges, that you are entering a time of recuperation, both physically and spiritually. And to ask you to explore your emotions by considering the things that you desire and the things you dread. So I'm going to pull a card on this Queen of Wands. She is an outgoing energy. It doesn't mean that she's going to just disappear, but she is an outgoing energy. That she's turned away from the devil implies to me that she either focused on working a lot or she's focused on the material thing that she has. So maybe this comes as a surprise to you. And therefore, you should reassess your life and what's happening around you. Be aware of what's going on around you. Let's see what this Queen of Wands is all about. A message, the messaggere. This message, it doesn't tell me normally what the message is about, but it implies that it's a message coming from far away. There was no internet when these cards were made. These are 13th century oracle cards. So it just says, it doesn't tell me what type of message, but usually the message will arrive within 24 hours to 7 days. Letterezza. Now, the card stands for sex. It stands for either trusting someone that you shouldn't trust or making a careless mistake. It's like the birds and the bees. That's probably what the message is about. That maybe you have trusted someone or about to trust someone you shouldn't. You're making a mistake as far as the person is concerned or the situation. And the ammalato, the sick person. Now, this card has a lot of connotation with rest and relaxation and meditation, but it can even represent people or situations that are making you sick. They're draining you dry. It's like being of a psychic vampire. So, if I had anything advice to give you, I would say you need to stop, be aware of what's around you, take stock of what's happening. You don't have to make a decision right away, but be aware, trust what your intuition is telling you, and then try to find a compromise. Now, I don't know what the actual message that's coming in is about, but there are two messages here, and they are implied in these two swords cards, and even here with the Two of Wands. So that's why I say be careful what you wish for. You just may get it. I would like for you to formulate an angel answer or question for the angel answer cards. This definitely feels like a jealousy or rivalry, and it involves this King of Coins and these two females. Extramarital affair. Maybe it's causing you some issues right now. And you have to get clear about what you want. Perfect timing is what the card says. Let's read about it. I hate this camera. Perfect timing. The card says, wait a minute, I can't spell. Here we go. Perfect timing. This is the perfect timing for the situation you've asked about. Move forward with confidence. Don't delay or hesitate, because an energy gateway is presently open for you. Conditions are ripe. Even if you don't feel prepared, rest assured you are. That's all it says. So that's what I have for you, Scorpio, for May 2024. Thanks and namaste.